Welcome back to another edition of the Witsup Weekly Grind. I almost introduced that then as another episode of the Witsup podcast. It all gets very confusing when you're welcoming people back week after week, but having different platforms and different things to be talking about. Tuning in already, we've got Joe Coombe and Nadine Voice, two of our top-tiered patrons. Thank you once again, ladies, for all of your support and welcome back. Nadine, how are you doing over there in New Zealand? What's the latest update? I believe the restrictions have lapsed a little bit. I shouldn't say lapsed. They've been softened a little bit over in New Zealand. Is that correct? I can't keep up with all the different things that are happening in our own country, in the different states in our own country, let alone other countries. But I hope you are doing okay. Give me a thumbs up, crew, or do that one. Write a comment. Let me know if the audio is all right at the moment. Nadine's just said more to level 3 at midnight. Oh, I said more because there's a crack in my phone screen that goes right through the word move, and it looked like it was an R. She has said we move to level 3 at midnight tonight. Level 3 means you can go out and get a coffee. Is that right? I think that's what Mel Saltil said last week. Okay, let's crack on. Have a chat about what is happening here at Witsup, what we've got planned. Starting with, we've got a special podcast coming up in the next few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Thank you, Joe, for letting me know that the sound is okay. Thank you very much. Yes, a podcast with Helen Murray from the Inside Try show. Now, Helen is an incredible journalist / producer / podcast host. Knows her shit, fair to say, in the world of triathlon and beyond as well. And just a really great voice within the sport. And she just so happens to be a female voice within the sport as well. If you do not subscribe to her podcast, please make sure you check out the Inside Try show and get on board that podcast bandwagon. Helen Murray at the Inside Try show, which is a podcast that she produces and hosts. So her and I have been working behind the scenes on a special podcast. It's going to be a 2-parter podcast about body image, the healthy body, eating disorders or disordered eating. And anyway, so, I mean, we're catching up again this week. We've done some interviews and we are pulling it together hopefully this week so that we can bring it to you sooner rather than later. So please make sure you add the Inside Try podcast, Inside Try show podcast, to your podcast subscriptions. And if you're not following our podcast, actually make sure you subscribe to that podcast first. Ours is very simple. Witsup, Women in Triathlon. Jump on whatever platform that you listen to your podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our show before you subscribe to others. Come on now. Come on. Anyway, okay, Nadine has said, not a huge change for her, but people can buy takeaway food, coffee, etc. and buy things online. No shops open though. Okay, that's great. Well, do you know what? It's great that the country as a whole has been doing their part in flattening the curve and making a difference. And it sounds like New Zealand coping with COVID-19 quite well as a whole. So hopefully we can see improvements across the globe, but particularly obviously in New Zealand. And here in Australia, there's a few things changing in the coming days and weeks as well. But like I said at the start, I can't keep up with everything. If someone could just give me a brief synopsis of what I need to be doing and when I need to be doing it, that'd be great. Welcome to Gordon, Leslie and Kendall. I'm not sure if Kendall will continue to stay tuning in, but if you are there, hello Kendall. I hope everything is going well. Kendall has 2 kids at home. She's homeschooling, doing her thing. Very creative, very educational, and a lot of fun. A lot of arts and crafts that Kendall is producing. She appeared on our podcast 3 episodes ago. If you haven't listened to that, I highly recommend you listening to that episode. It will just it will just help you find your own calm just listening to Kendall. She's great at physical hugs, but she can bring you a virtual bear hug as well. Highly recommend it. Kendall said, "Stop it, I will." Pam Goodley didn't know that WIT was for women in triathlon. Do you know what? So many people ask me what Witsup stands for, and it's a great question. When we launched quite a few years ago now, it was the hardest thing to come up with a name for our platform. Originally, I just wanted wit.com, just womenintriathlon.com. But turns out finding a 3-lettered website that's available is nearly impossible. So that threw that idea out the window. And then eventually, after mulling things over, I came up with Witsup, which is just women in triathlon, sup, as in what's happening, Witsup, what's happening in the world of women in triathlon. That's what it is. It's a little bit silly, but it is very me. We're serious about what we do, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. So there you go. Happy birthday, Gordon. Joe has just said happy birthday, Gordon. Hope you are having a pleasant day, which brings me to my next point. I have a birthday coming up this week on Friday. Feel free to wish me happy birthday. But do you have any ideas on what Bretty can do? Because he's going to need your help to help me celebrate my birthday. I just thought I'd throw that out there on the odd chance that he might... He's not going to listen to it. He listens to me enough. But maybe he might read through the comments. Or maybe someone can do a virtual hey, here's an idea. Do this. So if you've got any ideas that Bretty can create or do for my birthday, it is this Friday. He's got all week to plan. Nothing else to do. Joe has said a scavenger hunt. As long as the hunt is for bottles of wine, then sweet. Kendall said take the child. The thing is, Kendall, at the moment, he is spending all of his time with Frankie, and I'm not spending anywhere near as much time with her as I would like, because I'm just working and trying to, create some form of income for the Hanwin family. Brett, I didn't take Brett's last name. He's Brett Irwin. I'm Steph Hansen. But combined, we are the Hanwins. So taking my child is probably the last thing I want to do on my birthday. I actually want to hang out with her a lot on my birthday. So maybe think of something like a family thing that we can all do. Kendall said take the work. Great idea. Let's get Bretty on the computer doing some work. Not his strong point. But hey, we've all got our strengths. Joe has said you could earn a half case as you hunt around. I like a scavenger hunt, hiding bottles of wine. I did see video footage of adults doing a scavenger hunt or an Easter egg hunt, but instead of the Easter eggs, they hunted for bottles of wine. I thought that was quite amusing. I like it. Keep the ideas coming. I'm going to jot these down. Maybe I'll put them on a whiteboard on the fridge so he can take a look at it. I don't know. I know Kendall's still listening, and we both know that we literally have to give him things to do. So hand him a list, and then he can go from there. That's how Bretty operates. That's how he rolls. Okay. Instant takeover for the day. Brett Irwin cleaning the house. Interesting. Actually, another thing, during all this craziness, one thing that I decided to do yesterday was completely rearrange our bedroom. It just hit me that I was like, we're kind of stuck. We can go outdoors, but we're kind of stuck here doing the same thing day in, day out. I felt like we needed a change, so I just completely rearranged the bedroom. And it instantly made me feel good. It also meant that I could tick something off. I got it done. I achieved something. And it just mixes things up. I think it's a great idea. If I could do it to the rest of the house, I would. but our house isn't massive. There's only so many adjustments that we can make. But maybe I'll tackle Frankie's room after she wakes up. Maybe. Okay, Pam, hair surf spray, because I just got mine from Amazon after the hair. So Pam's talking about she got some hair surf spray after we did our live haircut as part of our Witsup Skills live video content. Here we go. This is the end product. The most dramatic twist ever. Just from like The Bachelor, the most dramatic season ever. And I ended up shaving half of my head. But when you actually look at it up close, you can see here I botched this bit a little bit, but I might just have to get the clippers back onto it and see if we can just tidy that up a little bit. It's quite hard cutting and shaving your head looking at a camera. I recommend you do it in front of a mirror, not in front of a camera. Hello to Lawrence West, who's just tuned in. Lawrence is a huge supportive dude of Witsup. He writes some awesome articles. We've got some things coming up with Lawrence that I'm really looking forward to publishing. And he's one of the guys behind the scenes who is one of our contributors, and he is a dead set legend. Hello to everyone else who is tuning in. Linda Keane, all the way from Western Australia, one of our health heroes. She's a pharmacist, and she is working, on the front line of sorts, and doing a great job over there. And she produced a couple of videos a few weeks ago to help explain a few things, doing a much better job than what I'm doing. And it was, I don't want to say dumb it down, but she helped explain just a few things to do with COVID-19, and I guess bust a few myths as well. So she's doing a great job over there. Hi, Linda. Thank you for all that you do. Really appreciate it. Just speaking of health heroes, we've got a bunch of content coming out in the coming weeks, just celebrating those health heroes and essential workers who are part of our Witsup Triathlon community. We just wanted to, give the opportunity to thank them and showcase part of who our Witsup community is. So they will be coming out in hopefully the first one this week, but you can stay tuned for all of that. Okay, what are we up to? I've talked about the podcast. Next week, the Witsup shop will be launched. I'm just trying to go through the finer details of international taxes and all this other kind of nonsense. The thing that sucks at the moment is we had planned to do this quite some time ago, and with all the COVID-19 nonsense happening, it has really destroyed the Australian dollar. So we are getting a lot of things printed over in the States and in Europe. It's just the way that this website platform works. But I think it means it's going to be quite costly to get them to Australia. So I'm just trying to figure all that out and work our way around that at the moment. If anyone has any tips about, I don't want to say importing, but bringing some of our Witsup merchandise into Australia and the taxes involved, setting it up on WordPress, there's WooCommerce and blah, 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 blah. If you know nothing about that, everything that I just said in the last 30 seconds would be absolute gibberish. But so you know, we are launching next week, and we've got some great, I think it's great merchandise, some Witsup classics, with the Witsup logo, and then we've got some different things happening as well that I'm super excited about. Now, coming up this Wednesday, a brand new video series. We're going to start the first one this Wednesday. It is coming to you at 8 a.m. Wednesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I have got a little teaser for you. That's right. I am bringing you, for the first time, a teaser of our Witsup Rate My Food video series. Now, before I show you, just to preface this, I'm rating your food, but I'm actually bringing in the husband, Chef Bretty, who is the expert, and he's going to be rating people's food. So many people are posting food on social media more now than ever. So we thought we'd have a bit of fun and bring in the expert, Chef Bretty, so that he can rate your food. I'm going to hit play in just a second. Pete has just said I can run you through everything I know about the shipping tax stuff. That would be awesome. I am definitely going to give you a call, Pete. Yes, I should have thought of you. Of course you would know. Thank you very much. And Kendall agrees. Thank you for the ace offer. She's just says, well, thanks, Pete. Let's check out the teaser for the Witsup Rate My Food video. Here we go. We've asked you guys to use the hashtag #WitsupRateMyFood, and that is exactly what we're going to do. He's going to bring his experience and expertise, and I'm bringing the entertainment. Brett has no idea who has submitted these photos. No
I haven't seen the photos either. Oh, a lot of cheese. Oh, wow.
Presentation, you've given it a 3 out of 10.
Oh, probably 3, yeah. Oh, no.
Post your photo on social media, use the hashtag #WitsupRateMyFood, and your food could appear on our next episode. What did you think? I actually had a lot of fun filming this with Bretty. He says he's not a natural in front of the camera, but I think he did an unreal job, and I really enjoyed us bouncing off each other. We had a lot of fun filming it. For me personally, it felt really good to be able to involve Bretty a lot more in what we do. It's always been, and it shouldn't, it's always just been sort of my baby and I roll with it. But it's been hard to find ways to include Brett because he's got his strengths and technology and writing and speaking in front of a camera are not his strengths until now. And speaking in front of the camera, he did a really good job. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So now we get to, it's one platform that we can bring to you as a team. And I loved doing it. I really surprised myself how much I thoroughly enjoyed working with Bretty on that one. So that's coming to you on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll just roll those ones out every few weeks or so you can stay tuned for that. In the meantime, make sure if you are posting food, use the hashtag #WitsupRateMyFood, and you might be included in our next Witsup Rate My Food video. But be warned, this is what came as a big surprise to me. Bretty's pretty harsh. He's a harsh critic. So be prepared. But it's all fun. It's meant to be a bit of fun. It's meant to be lighthearted. Please don't take it to heart too much. But be warned. He's gonna shut you down. He's a perfectionist. That is where his strength lies. I was really quite surprised. So anyway, that's coming out on Wednesday. All right, that's it in terms of what's coming up. But I wanted to check in. How are you doing? Mel Saltiel, we were chatting to Nadine earlier, and she said that you go back to level 3 at midnight tonight, which I assume means tomorrow you get yourself a takeaway coffee. Fantastic. Ailey has just said gold. I assume you're talking about the Witsup Rate My Food video teaser. Please, like I said before, if you are posting food on the interwebs, please just use the hashtag #WitsupRateMyFood and we can include you for a bit of fun in our next video. Who else have we got? Fiona Coyle has tuned in. I wonder, Kendall, are you still there? She's popped some emojis on there. Just checking to see if you're still there, Kendall. How are you guys doing? How are you coping with being shut down for a little while? Are you about to restrictions being loosened a little bit where you live? Are you looking after yourself? Mel has just said, oh yes, coffee after open water swim tomorrow. Oh, enjoy. I bet coffee will never taste as sweet. Speaking of taste, Joe Coombe has said, of course, it's all about the taste, not just presentation of food. Of course, Joe. Don't be nervous, Joe. Obviously, we can't taste the food, so we are looking at the food and we're rating it pretty much on presentation. So make sure you present it well if you want to appear, actually, or don't present it well, because there's probably more of a chance that you might appear on our Witsup Rate My Food video. Joe has said, so post-COVID, we need Chef Bretty taste test. All right, so for those of you who are watching, Joe did submit a plate. Submitted a plate, and Bretty rated it. So stay tuned for that, Joe. You might, let me just say, we're going to give you more opportunities. So you might appear in another video as well. Who knows? So just checking in, making sure that you guys are doing okay. Keep looking after yourself. This leads me to one of my favorite things that I've seen I'm just circling my notebook here. One of my favorite things that I've seen in the past, actually probably throughout this entire thing, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of, dare I say it, influencers giving their opinions. There's so many, there's so much noise out there. And it's hard to sift through it. There's hard to put a filter on all of that noise. But I actually found something the other day that it just resonated so much with me. I shared it on Instagram stories, which has now disappeared, obviously, because they're only up for 24 hours. But I wanted to share with them these notes with you here. And I will share again somewhere on the Witsup platforms, because it really helped me, I guess, figure out my head a little bit more. So here they are. And actually, Kristen Bell, who I've got a mad crush on, she's amazing. She posted it, and that's how I found this woman. Here's a series. Let me just fix this up. Here's a series of things that she posted. She's a psychologist, business coach / something else. Oh my goodness. Brett's iPad in the background I think it thought I said, hey Siri, and it just started talking to me. Oh God, now my computer is... Shit. Okay, here we go. The first one, and I'll read it out loud as well. Let me be clear. Those all over the place feelings you've been having, they are symptoms of stress, not personal failures of yours. Do you feel flaky and inconsistent? That's because your brain doesn't know what news to brace for next or what next month will hold. Does it resonate with anyone? It certainly resonates with me. The next one she put up. Feeling creatively blocked. That's because your brain has temporarily diverted all of its creativity, aka the ability to solve novel problems, to how do I avoid dying while in a narrowed, slow burn, fight or flight state. See, I read this when I was trying to come up with some content and just could not figure anything out. Okay, next one. Suddenly don't give a fuck about future-based goals, projects, or dreams like you used to. That's because your brain knows being short-sighted is a safer way to cope right now. I had this very conversation this morning. I kind of run on big goals, and the reason that we launched Witsup to begin with was to make a difference. And I've found myself in the past week thinking, what is the point of what we're doing? I need a goal. I need a mission. I want to disrupt things. I want to change things. That's how I operate. That's where my motivation lies. And all of a sudden it feels like that has been taken. God, that light changed a lot then. Sorry about that. That's been taken away from me. And I sat on the couch the other day and I was like, I do not give a flying fuck about anything right now. And I had so much work to do. I could have gone out and exercised. I could have done so many things, and I just sat on the couch just thinking, I don't give a shit. I have zero motivation, zero drive. That's exactly how I felt. This one really resonated with me. And then the last one was, your plans, creativity, energy, focus, and motivation are on a yo-yo right now because your brain believes you need to be extremely adaptive. You will not be on this roller coaster forever. Be patient with your brain. Sincerely, a positive psychology certified coach and fellow human. Her name is Alexis Rockley, and I just look her up on Google or on Instagram. So much about what this woman talks about, the way she talks about things, her language really resonates with me, and that's why I wanted to share those little notes on our platform because it really helped me get out of a funk the other day. Don't get me wrong, I didn't bounce off the couch and go, yeah, I'm ready to take on the world again, but it helped me understand what's happening in my own body, what's happening in my brain. And yeah, I stopped questioning myself and just, sat with it again. And, it's okay to sit on the couch and do nothing for a little bit. It feels weird because technically we've got nothing to do. So we should be finding all these other creative things to do. But I just felt frozen. I didn't know what direction to take. And that's not every day. Every now and then that kind of happens, and it's just good to be able to go back to those notes and just think, that's what's actually happening in my head right now. So anyway, I found it very, very helpful. I hope that it helped you a little bit too. Joe Horrigan said, yep, this got me the other day when I saw it. Let's go back to Ailey has said, back to what they're up to. We've been able to run, ocean swim and ride the whole time up here, get takeaway coffee. We're super lucky. Also been able to coach one-on-one, so very fortunate. Kids are missing the playgrounds though. Yeah, absolutely. Brett takes Frankie for a ride or for a walk, and every playground they go past, she's like, all closed. But at least originally she'd get cranky because they couldn't stop, but now she's just like, all closed. Joe, Ailey, the water was 15 degrees this morning, but we're still grateful to get out in it. Good on you. Mel Mast just said, I had a big sofa day yesterday, ready to reset and back out there again today. That's another really good point, is just sitting with those emotions and feelings, and then you will feel better the next day. So just ride that out instead of trying to fight it. That's how I find. I always just trying to fight those emotions and feelings, but they're obviously there for a reason. That's why I rearranged the bedroom yesterday, because I just felt like I had to do something, but it wasn't too physical, creative. Like I got it done. Today I woke up feeling heaps better and ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Okay, so that's that one. I think I've pretty much covered everything off. What happens in ISO stays in ISO. I was just going to talk about rearranging the bedroom and how I did it on a whim. So that was a bit of fun. How are you coping? And then my favorite thing I just spoke about then was Alexis, the psychologist, business coach, everything, human being, amazingness. She also has little dance parties as well, which I kind of rate. What's your favorite thing that you've seen this week? Fill the rest of the feed with favorite things that you've seen this week, whether it's been a cool video that made you laugh, made you smile. Oh my gosh. The other thing, Afterlife 2 on Netflix with Ricky Gervais. I have never watched a television show or a movie that has sent me through the emotions so much, but also so quickly. That man is a genius. He's such a clever man. So Afterlife is so funny. It's dark comedy. Then it's just flat out stupid comedy. And then by the end of the first episode, you're bawling your eyes out within seconds. It's very raw, very real, very emotional. I highly recommend it if you're ready for those kind of emotions. I found that we binge watched it, and I found that it was exhausting to watch because it sends you on this emotional roller coaster, which is an amazing piece of art from him, but it is quite intense. But anyway, amazing show. If you haven't watched any of it, then make sure you watch Afterlife season 1, and season 2 has just been released, the full season. Joe, yoga with Adrian on YouTube is brilliant. Yeah, okay, so I asked about yoga quite some time ago, and so many people recommended Adrian, and they recommended her to me because they said she's got a dog. The dog appears on the yoga videos, get involved, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, suits me to a T, love it, want to see a dog, let's do some yoga, awesome. So I signed up for the first, and when I say I signed up, it's all free on YouTube, but I started watching the first one and I got involved with it. By the end of the first episode, no dog. And I'm like, what the heck? So, I don't know, I did one yoga session and I was disappointed because I wanted to see the dog. Dog wasn't there. She's pretty good though. I mean, there's a bit of spirit fingers and stuff, but she kind of takes the piss out of herself and throws a few jokes in there, which kind of resonates with me a bit. Maybe I'll go back to it. I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll just do stretching. I don't know. Other things that you liked in the last week. Ailey has said Driveways at Dawn was pretty impressive and will be amazing to look back at on one day. Yeah, so Anzac Day on was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Yes, Saturday. Amazing to see and hear so many people out in their driveways honouring the Anzacs. Nadine has agreed. Let's just throw hers up on there. Beep. Stand at Dawn was amazing on Anzac Day. Some girls down the road were out playing bagpipes at 6 a.m. Super awesome. It's not often you hear other people saying, yep, heard bagpipes at 6 a.m. That was awesome. Probably the last thing you want to hear on any other day of the week, but on Anzac Day, that's incredibly special and emotional. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm losing track of days. I completely forgot that Saturday morning was Anzac Day until I woke up and got up and jumped online and realised that there's so many people doing things to do with Anzac Day. So I felt a bit guilty about that one. My apologies. That's another thing that we're doing to try, well, I say we, but me, to try and work our way through what's happening at the moment is I'm really trying to make sure that on the weekends I take that time off from work. I find it really hard because when you work from home, the computer's there, you're ready to go. But I'm really trying to make sure that we spend that time as a family and I shut the computer down as much as I can. But then when it's downtime, like when Frankie's sleeping, I use that opportunity to catch up on a bit of work then. But yeah, I think it's been a good approach to try and separate the weekday from the weekend. I don't know. It's working for us. We're giving it a go. Joe just said, I think Gordon, Leslie and Lawrence would love bagpipes any day. Absolutely. Pete, I just select the dogged sessions. Pam Goodley has said, what is Anzac Day? Great question. It is honouring the Australia, New Zealand Army Corps. You don't want to say corps. Who can answer that question better than what I can? What is Anzac Day? Kristen Walker said, my son got up and we live 50 metres from the local memorial, so he sang a soldier's Gallipoli song. Oh, look it up on Jaden Walker Sings. It's beautiful. Ah, that's amazing. Well done. Sorry, Kirsten Walker. Well done, Jaden. Good job, little mate. Nadine has said Anzac Day is, you don't say celebrate, remembering the landing at Gallipoli. And yes, it is the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. So that's what Anzac Day is, Pam. Great question. It's funny because I don't think I've ever had to actually explain to someone what it is, but obviously this is a global platform and sometimes you forget that those kind of things aren't known worldwide. So apologies, I mumbled my way through that. Joe, it's our main Memorial Day. Yeah, that's a fair call for sure. Thanks for the explanation, Pam said. Sorry, it was a little bit garbled, but hopefully that made a bit of sense. Oh. Last week I went down to see a friend and go for a walk, social distancing together. We went towards the beach. There's a bike path, running path all the way down there. And I thought, it's a good opportunity just to keep your 1.5 metre distance from each other. I had Frankie in the pram with me. Impossible. There were so many people out there. It was actually stressful. We did it for about 10 minutes and then decided to abort the mission because there were just so many people not adhering to the social distancing, which is really disappointing. But it was out of control, the amount of people who were down along the beachfront, exercising, walking, running, rollerblading, skateboarding, riding. So great to see so many people exercising, but there was no chance in hell that they were all at the appropriate social distance apart, because we couldn't do it. So we turned around and then let Frankie loose on the grass so she could just walk and go teddy bear hunting away from everyone else. And then we just decided to go down some back streets walking. And Frankie and I were on the footpath and my mate walked pretty much on the road because there weren't really cars around. And it was a way that we could keep to that 1.5 metres apart from each other. But yeah, down on the beach, I won't be going down there again for quite some time because it was just ridiculous, the amount of people down there. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping this up because I've actually run out of things to say. Joe said it's difficult when there are whole families out together. No blame towards them, but you can't stay apart. Yeah, it's absolutely. I don't have an answer for it, but which is why I just don't want to be a part of the issue. So that's why I've decided I won't be doing that. I'll just do my own thing and just walk around the back streets as much as I can. The bike path near us isn't too busy at all, so we'll take Frankie up there on the bike path, and that works out pretty well. Back to Anzac Day, Nadine has just said, oh, that's a big comment. It covered up my face. Normally there are Anzac parades at dawn as that is the time of day they landed in Gallipoli, but obviously no groups allowed this year, so everyone stood at their driveway at dawn instead to remember the Anzacs. Also traditional to wear a poppy. Great explanation. Thank you, Nadine, for that one. Yeah, super amazing how people are pivoting and figuring out ways to do things that usually are in big groups, but they pull together in other ways, and that's one of them. Really fantastic work by everyone involved in Anzac Day. Pam has said, what a beautiful tribute. Absolutely. Okay, Pete Coombe, I am going to send you a message to see if you can help me navigate our Witsup shop. That would be fantastic. Really appreciate it. Don't have much else to say, but leave more comments. Let us know some cool things that you've seen or heard of this week. Let's try and keep it reasonably positive. I hope you're doing okay. My only advice is just be okay with your feelings. The roller coaster is very real. The stress levels are very real. Even you may not even recognize them yourself, but there are underlying there. So that if that helps explain why you're feeling like you don't have motivation or you're feeling like you don't give a fuck, I totally understand it. You're not alone. Reach out to people, have a chat to them, and check out, I'll leave a link in the description of this video, and check out that woman who I spoke about earlier, Alexis, the psychologist / business coach / legend. And also, once again, Wednesday, 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Keep an eye out for the Witsup Rate My Food with Chef Bretty and myself. But it comes with a warning. Chef Bretty, he had his chef hat on. He was a bit brutal. I think he even surprised himself with how brutal he was. Keep an eye out. It's coming out on Wednesday at 8 a.m. And other than that, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you for the Witsup Weekly Grind next Monday. Bye-bye.